Hey, what's going on, team? Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're making the last batch of habanero sauce for the year. In my quest to get some content out in the field, I've probably neglected a few things around the house, and this is one of them. I love my hot sauces. Growing up in the north of Australia, we're only a 1 hour flight from Indonesia versus 4 hours down to Sydney, for example. So we had quite a strong Asian influence, and Thai, Malay, Indonesian foods, pretty strong up there, and a lot of hot sauces in all of that. So today I'm going to go through and do a bit of a Caribbean style, I guess. So we've got about 40 red habaneros, so it's going to be a bit of a warm one today. Some onion, a couple of citruses here. We've got the orange, the lemon, got some carrots, some garlic, and got some applesauce. So I like to put a little bit of this in. It gives it a little more depth and a bit thickens it up a little. And the other great thing is it puts just a little bit of sweetness in there, and I really like that with habaneros. I think they work well together. We've got some white vinegar, salt. I'll get some water out of the tap here as well. We'll sweat a lot of this down again in the blender, but the short of it is here, we'll sweat down the onion, the garlic, we'll grate up that carrot, just slowly sweat that down, throw in the vinegar, water, salt, and then we'll get the citrus in there, get the applesauce. And I don't put these in early. I like to keep the habaneros out. I find that sweating them down changes the flavor. It makes it a little more subtle. And I really do like the raw flavor of habaneros. It's got that real fruitiness to it. And I like to just take some of the seeds and membranes out, keep it a little more user-friendly for some of my friends, and then put those in towards the very end. We'll warm them up so they go through. And then when we get it in the blender, we'll blend it all up, jar it, and give some away to some of my mates for Christmas. Anyway, let's get into it. So in the interest of time, I went ahead, cut up the onions, garlic, shredded up the carrot, I juiced the lemon and the orange. Now we get into the fun part. And this is one time I will put a glove on in the kitchen. I've learnt my lesson the hard way. When you get halfway through a batch of cutting up chilies and you need to use the restroom, if you haven't worn a glove, things can get a little bit sporty, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm just going to get stuck in, make it all happen here, and then we'll get into the cooking. I'm going to start off with a little bit of avocado oil in here to sweat down the onions and the garlic and the carrot. I like to use avocado oil because I think it's got a pretty mild flavour. It's got a high smoke point, but not that that's relevant here, but pretty mild. So it's not going to impart its own flavour like a olive oil would into your hot sauce. So we'll get some of this in and bring the camera up close, and we'll make it all happen. Get a little bit of that avocado oil in there. And then we'll just start sweating down the onion. Carrots and the garlic. Take that off high down to a medium high. So these are spreading down nicely. Get in some of that salt. You don't have to be exact here. Small handful, get that in there. Get some vinegar. Put about a cup of that in. Put that vinegar in. Man, that already smells awesome. We'll get 2 cups of water. So since we put in the vinegar and water, it's cooled it down a little and we just need to bring that back up to the boil. So we'll just give that a couple of minutes here to do that, and then we'll go ahead and put in the applesauce and the juice from the lemon and the orange, and then we'll round it out with those chilies. Let's get this applesauce in. In goes our orange and lemon juice, and the orange juice does a bit of that as well, adds a little more sweetness to it. Now we're in with the star of the show. So this has been simmering on a low heat for about 5 minutes, and like I was saying earlier, I don't want to take away from that raw flavour of the habanero. I really like it, so that 5 minutes is long enough for me. Now we're going into the blender, and here's a little bit of advice. If you put hot liquid into a blender, it's going to want to expand, and if you've got this lid on tight, it's going to pop it off, and you're going to wear half of that. It's going to go everywhere. So take the little cup that sits on top, just remove that. Once you start blending, you can still just have it resting there so stuff doesn't come out the top on the initial blend, but you don't want to lock everything down, otherwise that air is going to look to pop everything open, and that's the last thing you want to be doing with this chili sauce. So just a little bit of a tip there. Anyway, I'll start ladling that in, and we'll bring the camera in again so you can see all of that happening. Because there is quite a bit here, we'll probably have to do this in 2 batches in the blender. Also, I don't want to fill it too much and give it even more opportunity to pop the lid off. So we'll probably go that much on this first batch. Get that on there, and like I was saying just before, don't plug everything down, just keep this here, and then we'll get in and pulse this a little, and we'll give it a, you got to turn it on first I guess, give it a little low pulse. Oh, there we go. On the high one you can see that came up straight away, so we'll I'll bring you in so you can have a look at that. You can see the consistency that's come to. That carrot, applesauce, just makes it nice and thick. Depending on how good the batch is, how hot it is, how generous you're feeling, I guess. You just bottle these up the way you see fit. Like I said, it's a week before Christmas. I'm going to gift some of this, but maybe first I'll... Oh, that's bloody good. So you can really taste that applesauce in there. The carrot has got its own sweetness that you get from carrot once you sweat that down. And there's just enough habanero in there that's pushing towards a nice medium heat for me. I do love my chilies. My wife will probably tell you that's nearing the 10 on a scale of 10. But for those that can tolerate chili, that is what I would classify as a 5. Just a lot of flavour. Like you saw, I could get it off the spoon without too much drama. And it's got that great consistency and will make a really good gift. So I'll jar some of this up. You'll see that consistency as I start to pour it out here. It's like it's just like a thick barbecue sauce, if you will, but with a lot more kick. So I'll go ahead, jar up the rest of that batch and do the rest that's still in the pot. Get it all ready to gift for Christmas to some of my mates around town. Those of you that are able to celebrate with family and friends, obviously have a great festive season. Take the time off if you can, chill, have a few cold ones. I know I will be. To all of those that have subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate it. I hit a milestone this week, not big by any number, right? Got to 50, but it's a milestone nonetheless. You need to take small steps before you can run. It encourages me. It's good to see that there are a few of you that enjoy the content. Obviously, the more that join, it will encourage me even further and help me continue this this hobby that I've started. Anyway, I've got an elk hunt coming up here in a couple of weeks out in Wyoming. Hopefully I can get some final content for the year and then post that early in the new year. But I'll close this out. Like I said, have a great festive season. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.